One Zambia, One Nation, thank you so much for joining us on the news desk with me, Amos Zulu. Here are the headlines. Coal emission affects Chief Chiwala's area. The Rural Electrification Authority lights up Itimbi ward in Kaingu Chiefdom. Chitambo Town Council give an ultimatum for poor workmanship. And coming up ahead, high malaria cases worry Zambia flying doctor services. Here are the details. The community of Mwatishi ward in Senior Chief Chiwala's area have complained of the negative effects emanating from coal emissions from New Kant Lime group of companies. The community has further complained of poor crop yields resulting from coal emissions in the area. Here is Nkwachi Chanda with the rest of the story.
These are the activities of New Kant Lime group of companies operating in Mwatishu ward of Masaiti district. However, these activities have affected the nearby 8 villages as the emission of lime is affecting the health of the people and crops. The people are concerned about the long-term effects of exposure to lime emissions and their livelihood.
Because ya problem ya menshi abantu badirekera okulimamo na dust emission baba pokorora imikaro bambo kushika nga mwamona papa katiso twachira endorubiro ama garden yali temperature yapa so iyi pit ni 150 okuyomu oro umu 100 meters so barabiro ko bati barefa ba benchinye oro batampi okutireni bweri mu phases kuno lili pari 6 meter kumamwena patali.
Masaiti District Commissioner has visited the area and has assured the people of government's intervention.
Shuyonse okulwala okwafika kuno oti pali mpamwera oli kuno wako naumfa obulimifu bwawonaika naumfa ifi ingana shukula shiri kumwanika usanga watupata twaparamina nangati nshaliko ino mpindie kondi kukulira nakumfa kayindi kumfire kale.
Senior Chief Chiwala is concerned that the activities may lead to the displacement of the people.
Activities affect the relocation of people who have nowhere to relocate. And people have to live in the areas where they're supposed to live, and they should not be disturbed by anything. The Lime company has been mining in an area of maybe about 81 hectares or less than 100 hectares. For how many years now? So many years. So I don't see these companies depleting the limestone within a short space, a short period. So some of these things that people have mentioned, I think we need to follow them up.
When contacted, Zambia Environmental Management Agency says they're not aware of the recent activities being conducted by the company, but however will visit the area to ascertain complaints from the people. Nkwachi Chanda, Zanis, Masaiti District, Copperbelt Province.
Now, First Quantum Minerals Operations FQMO Contracts Manager Elizabeth Impanga has urged Ballowworld Equipment to help build capacity for local contractors by hiring out mining equipment to enable them do business with the mines. Ms. Impanga says FQMO Mine has come with a deliberate policy to empower local contracting firms and companies by prioritizing them in contract awarding. She said this during the launch of the Ballowworld Equipment CAT rental store in Solwezi.
Ballowworld has launched its CAT rental store in Northwestern Province to support local participation in the mining and construction value chain. This business model takes away the responsibility of capital investment from customers, allowing them to pay for equipment based on the utilization.
Currently, we have identified that there is a gap in the provision of equipment solutions that are affordable and readily available. As such, as part of our equipment, it is out of that we came up with an idea to ensure that we launch the rental business so that our customers can have access to these equipment.
First Quantum Minerals Operations FQMO Contracts Manager Elizabeth Impanga has this appeal to Ballowworld.
But I just wanted to emphasize one thing. There's been a general trend worldwide of OEMs, big corporations, integrating backwards, taking over businesses of small firms. I hope Ballows does not fall into that category. If somebody comes to you and they have a contract with, say, FQM, equipment hire, instead of you saying, might as well do it ourselves, I would really appreciate if you would also allow the locals to benefit from the mine by hiring to them instead of you hiring directly to us.
Other stakeholders are excited about the development.
What excites me today is that Ballowwood, after all the saying, went and did something about it. I think the challenge to the mining houses in here is, can you give me that experience?
For Zanis News, I am Chaibun Koma in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
Ndola Central Member of Parliament Frank Tayali has disbursed over 2 million kwacha to cooperatives that successfully applied for the Constituency Development Fund CDF empowerment grants. Mr. Tayali, who is also Minister of Transport, urged the beneficiaries to use the grants to improve their livelihood. He said this during the handover of empowerment grants and a CDF monitoring vehicle. Here's a report.
Tombora Area Member of Parliament Clement Andeleke has continued his interactions with electorates in the constituency in order to listen and address challenges they are facing. The locals are surely taking advantage of their MP's presence to bring out issues that affect them.
We have no permanent toilets. As I'm speaking now, here at Kachaboda we are 8 teachers, but sharing 2 toilets. Ongwe, not even 1. Numbers are not even 1. That is a very serious challenge.
Our clinic here at Kachabura is not being considered for opening. Our road from Ngwezi to Sikaunzo is in a bad state. We need the power in our home.
On his part, Mr. Andeleke has brought out good news to these people who yesterday turned up in numbers at Kachabura Primary School in Kazungola District of Southern Province.
I have come to tell you that Ngwezi and the surrounding areas, including your area, is going to receive electricity through the rural electrification. The government of the Republic of Zambia has given us 19 towers, and this year we are going to have telephone network, all of us here in Katombora constituency. Those of you who are following Parliament, even this week and last week, it was just all about Katombora constituency. Water connection, Katombora constituency, telephone network, electricity.
Emily Kando, reporting for Zanis in Ngwezi, Southern Province.
And in a related development, Itumbi Ward in Kayingo Chiefdom in Itezitezi District in Southern Province has received its first ever power supply following a Memorandum of Understanding MOU signed early this year with the Rural Electrification Authority, REA. This is the first time since independence that the ward has been connected to electricity.
Itumbi Ward in Kayingo Chiefdom is located approximately 45 kilometers from Itezitezi town. This ward has had no electricity for centuries. To address this issue, the Rural Electrification Authority signed a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, with Itezitezi Local Authority in February 2023 to increase access to electricity using Constituency Development Fund. The people of Kayingo Chiefdom are overjoyed after receiving electricity for the first time. Chief Kayingo's Palace was the first to be connected to the grid.
Konse ubushinga bukikono ubukini konse baba bonje wa Chiefdom batu pamalaiti nakiitirire kini kambo
Little businesses are now flourishing.
So mafuriji tafaka ma business yambwenda ko mushe ma welding ni abene ngorira uko ma barbing machine so apatimbera mushe business yenda che mushe.
Electricity has also improved healthcare delivery.
We had a challenge with, especially when dealing with the labor cases. Okay, we have solar which is connected, but it was not reliable. Like it could only work during the day, but most of labor cases come at night. So you would find when it's a case at night, it's either use your phone or a lamp which was not even all that bright. We thank RIA with CDF for the electricity which has been brought to the facility.
Meanwhile, schools have not been forgotten.
With the coming of power at our school, pupils who stay nearby our school, they are coming to study even during the nights, which is very good, which has even improved their performance.
Frederick Mwansa, Zanis, Iteji.
We now take a break. Join us shortly.
For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
We continue with the news. Lusaka Principal Forestry Officer Catherine Zulu says the timber industry in Zambia is capable of contributing more than the 5.2% to the country's gross domestic product (GDP). Ms. Zulu advised that the sector needs to add value to the timber before export. Here is Jonathan Mukuka with the details.
Timber exports contributes about 11 billion United States dollars annually and about 5.2% to the country's gross domestic product (GDP). However, the Forestry Department in Lusaka province feels the timber industry could contribute more to the country's GDP by adding value to the timber products before exporting them.
Forestry sector, especially the timber, contributes over 11 billion US dollars in terms of revenues, and I can say that most of it is basically formal and other is not formal. So meaning that this contribution of 5.2% in terms of the GDP should be more than what is being captured. So
Ms. Zulu is however happy that Skale Hoods is trying to add value to timber.
The encouragement is for all the timber companies to be involved in a lot of value addition, because value addition will actually contribute to the growth of the country.
Lusaka Smokeless Charcoal is a women-led organization targeting over 200 women groups across the country that is adding value to forest waste to produce smokeless charcoal.
Our main focus as well is to ensure that we work with women in the villages and the rural areas. We want to work with these women in the rural areas. Number one, to contract them to gather the maize husks, the groundnut shells, the sunflower stalks, in order for us to be able to produce that charcoal. Second,
the recently held 16th COMESA Business Forum ahead of the just ended COMESA Summit for heads of state and government called for increased value addition to various products produced in the member countries in order to grow the economies of the respective member states. Jonathan Muka reporting for Zanis News in Lusaka.
Characterized by dances and relations, residents of Ndola Central constituency in Ndola were in awe and in jubilation as they witnessed the disbursement of grants and the unveiling of a CDF monitoring vehicle at Inkwazi grounds. About 101 cooperatives have been awarded grants worth over 2 million kwacha by government as empowerment funds to help people in communities improve their livelihood.
You should use the money for the project you applied for. When your neighbor look at you, they should admire and say, look at this one who got a grant and has used the money properly and is making progress with his family.
Ndola City Deputy Mayor is happy with government structures that are responsible to identify the right people in need of empowerment.
And appreciate the intervention that your office, through CDF committee, is doing to the people of our communities. And the number one intervention I'll point at is looking at the current disbursement that you are going to undertake, issues of grants. Guest of honor, you understand that Ukwazi, Mapalo, and Twapia in Ndola Central among the list, are the most highly hit in terms of poverty levels, and such interventions will go a long way.
CDF chairperson highlighted on the progress of other CDF projects in the area.
Other project is running, and these are different completion stages, and the committee expects that these will be handed over within July and August of this year.
What has happened here today has never happened before. Our parents, thank you very much. May God richly bless you. Mary Chola for the news in Ndola.
Local Government Service Commission Vice Chairperson Brian Ndumba has given the Chitambo Town Council a 2-week ultimatum to correct the situation where substandard structures are being built at Mukando and Mukambo primary schools. Mr. Ndumba expressed disappointment that the council has allowed poor quality of work at the two schools despite government releasing enough funds.
The Local Government Commission has taken an audit of the utilization of CDF in Chitambo District. Local Government Commission Vice Chairperson Brian Ndumba, who was accompanied by the Commission Vice Secretary Musa Zaza, has expressed disappointment at the workmanship of the 665,000 kwacha Mukando Primary School construction works.
The way we are going to go, this way, no. We'll part company. If this is the direction we are going to go, government is sending money, and us that are supposed to just monitor how this money must be spent, we can allow a contractor to come and cheat on the people like this? No, I'm sorry. This way we'll have to part company. Refer to the words that I used when I was addressing you. This workmanship, no. It's unacceptable, totally unacceptable. Even the community here that are walking around here, they are just wondering what kind of officers we are that can allow a builder to come and put such a structure. It is not right. So, Council Secretary, today, counting the first week, 2 weeks from now, I'll be here. Count the second week from now. This, I'm taking it as my project. Second week running from today, I'll be here.
Mr. Ndumba was angered, especially when he noted that officers from the council could not provide insight into the construction works.
Up to our plate. When it was discovered, I would have thought that today when we are coming here, we would have found that this is rubble, it has gone down. But the man has dropped what he views, because when he was dropping this, you officers should have been here to tell him, drop here, or when you came, you would have got to use your chalk to draw from this level, this is drawn. This level, this is drawn. This level, this must go down. But when it is plain like this, this man comes, is going to continue building. Is this the way we are going to save our people? No, sir.
And Chitambo Council Secretary Mudala Mwiche says punitive measures have since been put on the contractor.
Materials that, as it were, found not to be very fit. But I'm elated, Chair, to mention, just when we were walking in, you've seen those concrete blocks. I think that is the conventional building material that we want to be using. So we take very serious cognizance of the dissatisfaction that was expressed on this particular contractor. In fact, we have gone further, sir, to engage with him, and some necessary penalties are actually being implemented on him.
Daniel Billy, Zanis News, in Chitambo District, Central Province.
The news continues. Mongo Municipal Council has handed over disaster relief hampers to 26 households in Mongo Central and Nalikwanda constituencies to cushion challenges faced by people whose houses were destroyed by fire, while some had their roof blown off early last year. Namakao Kayombo reports.
21 households from Mongo Central constituency and 5 from Nalikwanda constituency, both under Mongo district of Western Province, have received disaster relief hampers from Mongo Municipal Council. The families are victims of devastating house fires and roof damages. The hampers received consist of blankets, mattresses, iron sheets, food, hygiene and school packs, among others. Mongo Deputy Mayor Suzy Onguni handed over the hampers to the victims.
In 2022, earlier this year, WDCs received several reports concerning members of the community losing their properties to fire and other reported. Their houses has been roof blown off. The reports were subject to assessment by the District Management Committee, who recommended that their household required urgent attention. It is from this background that today, Mungu Municipal Council is handing over the disaster relief packages to these affected households.
Mungu Central Member of Parliament Oliver Amutike explained that the 236,500 kwacha that was used is from the 2022 CDF disaster component.
So you can see the effect and the impact of CDF in our constituencies. It's not only building community projects, it's not only doing bursaries and loans. We also have a disaster component where we help those in distress who have been affected by fires, by floods, and various other disasters. So we are very happy as Mungu Central that we are coming to the aid of these affected people in our constituency.
Speaking to Zanis in Mungu district, the beneficiaries expressed happiness.
We are
very happy because we suffered. The people in our ward should see that President Hakainde Hichilema is working. If it were up to me, he would be president for 20 years.
yabona abantu abanyandire aziri muri kona kwitumira kugace kuri bana nakona kutofana pakuroba nakona kufuna amasenke yakuri nakona kuyahera kwa deni nakona kufuna libukaza kuri bana bakabakona bakena kukona siporo na itumira ahuka muso upia kaonao
My house got burnt in May 2023 while I was attending the funeral. I went to report the situation at the police, then they referred me to the DC's office. I am very happy today.
Namakao Kayombo, reporting for Zanis in Mungu, Western Province.
An agroecologist has called on the media to join other stakeholders in promoting the concept of agroecology farming. Pelham Association Programs Officer Winfred Miga was speaking at a media training organized by Action Aid Zambia and Highway Africa on investigative journalism on social accountability. More in the following report by Sifue Mwangala.
In the last few years, Zambia's food security has been threatened by effects of climate change and modernized farming methods. This development has worried many non-governmental organizations who have since embarked on a program to promote agroecology. One such concerned NGO is Pelham, which is working towards finding solutions to secure the food security in the country. Speaking during a media training organized by Action Aid Zambia in partnership with Highway Africa, Pelham Association Programs Officer Winfred Miga called on journalists to write more stories focusing on agroecology in order to overcome reports of less crop yield and pest diseases affecting farmers.
We are promoting the concept of agroecology farming because we feel it is a very sustainable form of farming, and also looking at the paradigm that we are in right now where our soils are heavily degraded. I think the solution for now is agroecology. And we know that we cannot play it alone as CSOs because we really need other stakeholders, other partners to come on board. And one of the major stakeholders is the media.
And Action Aid Zambia Social Accountability Project Coordinator, Geoffrey Sinzala, has called journalists to be proactive.
There are a lot of news stories that have gone unreported in society because of journalists lacking that extra capacity to probe and bring the truth to the fore.
And Highway Africa Coordinator, Tatenda Chatikovo, implored journalists to focus on key areas.
It is also important that even our priorities as journalists, our priorities as educators within the journalism field, are actually focusing on these key areas, which are important for our lives, which is obviously sexual health and reproductive rights, as well as food security.
Sifwe Mwangala for Zanis News in Chilanga District, Lusaka Province.
The Zambia Flying Doctor Services has expressed concern on the high number of malaria cases among pregnant women in Mongu District. Speaking during a mobile screening, senior resident medical doctor Puta Chisanga assured the women of quality health care services to reduce cases of malaria, especially in remote areas.
The Zambia Flying Doctor Services Senior Resident Medical Doctor Puta Chisanga has expressed happiness with the alleged turning out of patients for screening in the Masheshe area of Nalikwanda constituency in Mongu District of Western Province. During the screening of patients, Dr. Chisanga has found that most pregnant mothers have malaria symptoms.
Today here we're doing both specialized services as well as just general screening. We are offering dental services, eye services, and we're also doing ultrasound scans. So by virtue of bringing ultrasound scans, we've seen a very high turnout of pregnant women. I think it's the first facility that we have attended to over 44 pregnant women in a day. Malaria, I think, still seems to be a challenge in this area, and most of the pregnant women have presented with malaria in pregnancy.
And the people in the area have praised government for bringing healthcare services closer to their locality.
Batisize machine ya kuonesa ko lukataza rukimasinga wa mulomo lukataza kimete ubofu wa lukenera mamubiri ka ofela kona oteze madokta ko ko lutusa mabutatabu chwale bitumeza hulu kamusezo bayizize mi kufumana yakuli baba nani milwalo nako yakuli mulwalo hauzuile lafumana ngafumba ni program ya kweza takuli kona kupera kuwera mo ma transport yakuluze fa kwifita mungu alwafu manangi
ile muliro nani chile muliro chese nitoputa nakali utule weche chikora batisize kazolopirika mane baetele cholo mane bakode kubona nekalo nali hole ngabona mwabalu utela mane baekeze pateni kaka utela kabalu utasha balumela handende weche bazele pili kwa watu.
Most people in Namasheshe area fail to access quality health care services due to poor road network. As such, the services Zambia Flying Doctors are offering should be appreciated by all. Rogers Fairpa reporting for Zanis in Mongu District of Western Province.
Police in Nakonde District of Muchinga Province have intercepted a vehicle that was being used to traffic 14 illegal immigrants suspected to be Ethiopian nationals. Muchinga Province Police Commanding Officer Kaunda Mubanga said that the vehicle was intercepted around 0130 hours at Katozi village and that the 14 illegal immigrants have since been apprehended. Mr. Mwanga confirmed the incident to Zanis that the immigrants were found hiding in the boot of a Toyota Crown car. He said the driver of the vehicle ran away while the illegal immigrants are in police custody awaiting further investigations. And as we continue with the news, the Zambia National Services ZNS Eagles Women Club in Kabwe has donated assorted items to Kabwe Female Maximum Security Center to support female inmates. Simeon Bewe reports.
Kabwe Maximum Security Correction Center is the only correction facilities in the country that keeps females with capital punishments. However, the female inmates here have a sigh of relief after the Zambia National Service Eagle Women's Club from Land Development Branch donated an assortment of items worth 5,000 kwacha. Eagles Women Club coordinator Nancy Chileshe says the gesture is to remind their fellow women that they are not forgotten outside.
We come and visit our friends who are the inmates, and we thought of bringing various items to them. And among the items we have groceries and some chitenge materials together with second-hand clothes. Yes, and the cost implication for all this, we spent about 5,000 kwacha. We thought of considering our fellow ladies, because as a lady, I know how it is to be a lady, and I thought of like it's very important so that at least we share the love with them, and also at the end of the day they will know to say that they are not alone in this. We are there to support them as well.
Kawe Maximum Facility Officer in Charge, Addison Kandu, commends the Eagles Club women for supplementing government in taking care of their fellow women.
I would like to thank you so much for the overwhelming gifts that you are giving to us today. These things that you have brought to supplement on them. Many are the times that we lack these daily needs. Yes, the government has been there. It has been so supportive, and we receive even funding for the upkeep. But it's not enough. We need cooperating partners to supplement on them. So these supplements will go a long way.
Miriam Mulenga is an inmate who gives a vote of thanks.
Tuletira twatotera lesami pale twachiba abantu abakugurisha twatwachikwata na kasopo twachira inyacho kuwako bwana kasopo but lesami sosha mwaisa mkutupempula ifine mwaisa mwilekera hapa pene mpitirishe twatotera sana lesami pale.
For Zanis, I'm Simeon Mbewe at Kawe Female Maximum Facility in Kabwe, Central Province.
We take our last break and more news to come. Stay tuned.
For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
Welcome back. Southern Province Minister Cornelius Mwetwa has applauded the United Church of Zambia for not only preaching the gospel, but also promoting physical fitness and well-being. Mr. Mwetwa says physical exercise is key in fighting non-communicable diseases which have remained a concern. He said this in a speech read for him by Southern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Yolanta Malunga during the aerobics and corporate fun run event organized by UCZ under the theme Promoting Healthy Living for a Wealthy Nation. Details in the following report.
They turned up in numbers, braving the cold for an early morning exercise, recognizing the importance of physical fitness to one's health. The aerobics and corporate funland fitness, organized by United Church of Zambia, is aimed at promoting healthy lifestyle among members of the church and the community.
As a church, we do believe that a healthy body is important for propagation of the gospel. It was wonderful to see you exercising, and it would be great to see you running to show that we are fit. We are fit to run to the glory of God and also spreading the gospel.
Government has commended the UCZ Church for organizing this event.
The government of the Republic of Zambia, under his able leadership, His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia, attaches great importance to the development of sports and physical activities in Zambia, enhanced fitness and health well-being of the general citizenry. As a province, we are elated by the efforts from the United Church of Zambia for delving into activities that promote fitness and health well-being. My government is open to work with all stakeholders, faith-based organizations included. As a Christian nation, we are all one in the body of Christ.
Having regular exercise should be a lifestyle for everyone, young or old, as it prevents non-communicable diseases. Costa Kimudenda, Zanis, in Joma District, Southern Province.
That sporting note brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a reminder of the top stories. Coal emission affects Chief Chiwala's area. The Rural Electrification Authority lights up Itimbi ward in Kaingu Chiefdom. Chitambo Town Council give an ultimatum for poor workmanship. And coming up ahead, high malaria cases worry Zambia flying doctor services. We end the news just there. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is Amos Zulu. Bye for now.